Welcome back to the Outlaw Ranch. Today I thought I would try and get these steps here removed off of both sides of the truck. They became kind of unusable since we picked this fender up and we moved it back. It used to be bolted here from here, and you can see it's kind of gotten rusted. And so we're going to remove these because they no longer will bolt there. And as you can see, they are really flimsy on this far side. On this side here, they're a lot more sturdy because of this mount that comes up underneath, but that won't help us get into the truck. So we're gonna try and remove these, and the goal is to probably get some DOM tubing and come off of here, come out maybe a little bit wide, and then we'll come in and then maybe follow this rocker down here before we dive in. And that should also give us a place to help mount these remote reservoirs here. So that's the idea. Let's see what we can get done. Stand by, y'all. All right, y'all. The strangest thing has happened here. One of these bolts snapped off. That one there snapped off. This one here spun, so I had to cut it off. I was able to cut it off with a 4.5-inch angle grinder. The bolt that was right here, I was able to get undone. And there's one more little bolt, and it is right there. And that nut is spinning on the threads. And the 4.5-inch angle grinder doesn't fit in there without cutting into the body. So I'm gonna try and use this little tiny cutoff wheel on my Dremel tool and see if that comes loose, see if we can get it off. Anyways, I thought you guys might like to see some of the trials with old trucks. So stand by, we're gonna see if we can't get that cut off. All right, y'all, we got that last bolt cut off. The step is removed. We have it sitting over here on the tire now. The step is actually in pretty good shape. You know, just some usual rust, but no real cancer, it doesn't look like, in it. So now the next problem. Next problem is this bracket here. When we got the bed mounted, we kind of custom did these mounts up in here. And unfortunately, at the time, what we did was we welded, you can see some welds in there, this bracket to the new bed mount. So what I'm gonna have to do is come in here with a cutoff wheel, and we're gonna try and cut that off nice and flush. And it's kind of unfortunate. I was trying not to cut on the truck, on the body here. They do make more of these if I ever need to replace it. But anyways, that's what's gonna happen. We'll cut this off, just this bracket. It's not part of the body or anything, so stand by. We'll get that cut off with angle grinder. Okay, you can see we got this bracket removed. I hit it with a flap disc in here, just to kind of make it so that the edges weren't so sharp. I really would like to have that cut off more flush with the body there. I'm not sure how to do it. You know, the head of the grinder is, you know, all up in here and stuff. So I'll have to see what I can do better. But for now, that's good enough. So let's go ahead and rinse and repeat, see if we can't learn or use some of the lessons we learned from that side over onto this side and get this one removed as well. So stand by, y'all. More work to come. All right, y'all. So you can see we got this other step here removed, and I did reattach the ground that was on that step. I don't really care for the way this bolt, you know, how far this bolt sticks down, but that was the bolt that was there, you know, yada, yada, yada. You can also see I was able to get this cut off a lot closer. So we'll go touch up that other side, but that's not really noteworthy. So the steps on this side of the truck, or on both sides of the truck, now have been removed. And it looks a lot better as far as, you know, cleaning up this area so we can get some tubing in here. We'll have to come up with a piece of tube that probably comes off here. This is where the old leaf spring mount was. We'll come off of there, we'll come out here, pretty close, I think. And then we'll start trying to make our bends, as it goes down that deal. So it'll end up kind of like a running board almost. It'll stick out there a little ways just to ease getting into and out of the truck. I have gotten a lot of questions about how do you get into this truck because I can barely reach the door handles. Well, it's actually kind of simple. It's actually easier now than it was, when the truck was only on like a 10-inch or 11-inch. Let's see, what was it? 11-inch lift, I guess. And all you do is you just kind of climb that tire like a ladder. And then we're going to step onto the steps we're going to make. And then you just kind of walk down that, running board here and into the truck. So it's actually really easy. But that'll probably be it for now. I've got some other chores I need to do. I was also hoping to run to the river. I got to help a friend out a little bit, a brother. So that'll probably be it for the day. I know it was really short. I just try to keep you guys up to date with, what's going on with this truck and so on and so forth. So as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys. I have picked up a couple of more subscribers, and this is really awesome to see that people would want to subscribe and that they would want to watch the stuff that I'm putting out there. So thank you to everybody who watches, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.